Hi, and welcome back to the Addicted Wellness Channel. I'm Sage, and today I have the great honor of having our good friend Logan Hollowell here with me. She has a fine jewelry company and lifestyle business, and she is a fine jewelry designer. And she infuses her love for metaphysics, for the cosmos, for the universe, for humanity, into everything that she does. She is a really incredible individual, and Ana Blanca and I love having you as our friend.
Oh, thank you, Sage. The feeling is mutual.
Thank you. And you know, what makes what you do unique is that, well, lots of people can design jewelry. And that is an amazing thing. But you go to a different level in that you take the caring that you have for the journey of the people who are going to be wearing your jewelry, their journey in their life, in their health, in their mind, in their spirit, and you put that into everything that you do. And I just think that's so special.
Thank you.
Of course. And so maybe you could tell folks a little bit more about what it is that you create.
I create fine jewelry for the modern goddess, as well as lifestyle products, all infused with magic and Midas touch energy.
Nice. Love that. And so, I know you're very passionate about many things, but how would you describe to us, like, if somebody said to you, what's your passion? How do you phrase that? It's a complicated question in many ways, but...
Well, my passion is self-empowerment, and I believe that it's everyone's birthright to feel their absolute best on the inside and the outside. And so I'm very passionate about overall well-being of my clients and my community and my loved ones, and I just think that everyone deserves to feel their best at all times. So metaphysics, health and wellness, quantum physics, the universe, the cosmos, Mother Nature.
That pretty much incorporates all of it. If it's not falling within the realm of those things, like, does it even matter?
Medicinal mushrooms.
Yeah. So, you obviously have a wide variety of foci, is it the plural of focus? Foci in your life?
Yes.
And so, where amongst these things do you tend to find your inspiration?
Definitely like the cosmos, Mother Nature. Let's see. Yeah, anything that has to do with consciousness.
Yeah, all these areas of passion
evolution.
For you.
Yes.
Awesome. So we had the amazing fortune to meet here in Los Angeles at a place called Remedy Place, which is a social wellness club, and we met at the grand opening. Yep. It's started by our good friend, Dr. Jonathan Leary, an incredible individual himself, and we hope to get him in here one of these days to make a recipe together. Jonathan, if you're watching this, come on, let's do it. And so that's the amazing thing about LA, right, is we have so many opportunities to connect with like-minded people that in other areas of the country might not be so easy. But here we can connect so easily over these shared passions that we have for health and wellness.
Yes, I was so excited to meet you guys there. And the moment I found out you were from Addicted Wellness, I was like, oh my gosh. I was already
the best moment.
Huge fan and customer. I discovered their products at Air One, and yeah, I'm just in love.
It's such a special moment for me to connect with people who already know about us through the products. It's so surreal. It's like a little magical moment that I never expected that I would ever have. So it's so fun. So when you kind of have gone through your life, people discover health and wellness in different ways. What brought you to this? Like, everyone has a different kind of entry point depending on where they come from, what their history is. How did you end up with interest in health and well-being?
Well, for me, I grew up in North Carolina, and I had, growing up as a child, I had tons of allergies and stomach issues, and they couldn't figure out what it was, and I was going to doctor after doctor, and they were like, put her on this pill, give her this shot, or allergies, or, different things, medication. It was always antibiotics. And there was never a real solution, Sage. It was very frustrating because I just felt like I was going around in this circle.
Get bounced around from one doctor to the next.
Yeah, and it just, to be completely honest with you, it seemed like the more things that they put me on, the worse the symptoms would get. And now that I know about, just overall holistic health and the full spectrum, I know that it's more about taking you off of things so that your body can just be itself and relax into homeostasis on its own and come into balance. But at that time, it was just all about going to different doctors and experts and things. And so it was very frustrating for me because I feel like, there were times that I missed out on parts of my childhood because I was suffering from these health conditions. So I believe it happened for a reason. I think that it happened so that I could help other people through their healing journey, mental and physical, because those things, having illnesses, it takes a huge toll on your mind as well. So
you must have had a feeling going through it like this is not how life is supposed to be.
I knew. I was like, I feel like there's a better way. There's got to be a better way. So for me, I've discovered, you can buy things, you can create wealth, but really, like, you have nothing if you don't have your health. And so the true wealth out there, like, do not get it twisted, is health. So that's how I got into it. And I really just started doing my own research and trying my own things out. And I discovered, in North Carolina, it's not as common here in, like, California or New York or other places. And I'm sure a lot of our subscribers and listeners are dealing with the same stuff. So I realized that, probiotics and taking care of my gut, like, things were, I had to get that into place before I could heal the allergies. And also discovering that I was allergic to dairy and gluten was a huge factor, and that was actually exacerbating all of the allergies and things I had. So
it's amazing with those to especially see how long people suffer from things like gluten and dairy that in the mainstream they don't even know could potentially be an issue, and you just remove those from a lot of situations and people become vastly improved in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, it's insane. And just reading the ingredients and all of your products, and that's one reason I love your products, is because they're in the most pure form. And I know, I just look up to any company that holds that integrity for their products, because you won't compromise, getting the crazy bulk orders if you can't get the exact thing that you want, and there's no fillers or anything like that, which is almost unheard of.
Right, just the purest of pure is what we love.
Yeah, so it's like my journey of health has really been undressing a lot of the things that we've been taught and kind of coming back to just purity and wholeness and, antioxidants. And I just love feeling good. I mean, who doesn't? And nothing makes me more happy than when people say, like, oh, because I came across your products, I've lifted this part of I've changed this part of my life, or I've become more confident, or I've become more aware, or more spiritual, and really I've become more healthy. That is, like, the best compliment, because I'm like, oh my God, you deserve to feel so good. And
tell me a little bit more about that, about how through jewelry and things of that nature and gemstones and these things that you introduce people to, how that can affect them and their trajectory in life. I often think about how if like a ship at sea changes this trajectory by half a degree, it might not seem like much, but then you sail 1,000 miles and you're in a vastly different place.
Yeah.
How does your work influence people in that way? What have you seen? How that happens?
Well, our jewelry is just like it's a symbol. It's like a physical object of something way deeper. It's not just like wearing a piece of jewelry for vanity or this or that. It's really like sort of an opening into someone's awakening experience. And one of those avenues that you'll go towards is overall health and well-being.
Yeah.
And so we find that a lot of customers, they'll find us through, it's like eye candy. It'll catch their eye, and then they start entering our world of, like, magic, as we call it, and kind of self-discovery. And so that to me is, like, the most rewarding part of what I do. And I just plan on expanding that because it's what brings me most joy. So
I love it. And I love how we have these overlapping passions for health and wellness and nutrition and helping people to live their own version of the ultimate life.
Yeah.
So let's put that into action here. Into something people can immediately experience at home if they got the ingredients sitting around, or they can get online and get them and have them at home in a day or two.
Yeah.
We are going to make a recipe here that is inspired by your passion for natural health and natural beauty.
Yes.
And so tell us, what is this going to be?
It's called the Blue Moonstone Queen Shake. And one of the reasons I love your products and this recipe here is that the overall meaning behind, doing things for yourself, self-care rituals, is just making every moment special if you can. I know a lot of times we're busy and we're, like, short on time or whatever, but just, like, eating is, like, it's so tantric and beautiful, and the way that you infuse your energy with food is so important because you'll digest better, you'll feel better. So anything you do, just kind of like get into a good state before you start making. So I feel like we're on a really high vibration right now.
Absolutely.
So we're in good condition.
And we're going really after the blue pigments here. Now, blue pigments are something that you very rarely find in nature, and we're going to be incorporating 2 different blue foods that have 3 different blue pigments. We're dealing with phycocyanin, anthocyanin, and paranthocyanin. We'll talk a little bit more about those in a few minutes. But I share your same fascination with blue colors in nature and blue foods because they're so rare compared to red, orange, yellow. You see these things all over the place.
Totally.
Blue, you don't come across a lot of blue. Yes, you have blueberries that share anthocyanin, one of those pigments we talked about. There's not a lot else, so it's fun to search these out and really enjoy them when you can.
It's so fun. And it reminds you of the ocean and just, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I share your love for the ocean as well.
So, yeah.
So we're starting out here. We have taken a liter, so about 4 cups of almond milk, and soaked 4 tablespoons of chia seeds in there. Now the chia seeds complete protein, great source of the short chain plant-based omega-3s, and they create this gelatinous texture. So some people do chia puddings where they just like stir it up, but we're actually going to blend it so it gets really like nice thickness and creaminess to it, like a milkshake. And that's going to give us that, just incredible texture.
Amazing.
So what are we going to do next here? You take your pick.
I just want to see the blue right away. So
Okay,
I'm going to go
let's
ahead and add the blue spirulina.
Yeah, so that's blue spirulina. And blue spirulina, interestingly, some people get confused thinking that this is a breed of spirulina that just happens to grow blue, when in fact, all spirulina is blue-green algae. And it mostly has the green pigmentation from chlorophyll and has a small percentage of what's called phycocyanin, which is the blue pigment that makes spirulina the blue-green algae. And this is what you have here that's isolated out of the spirulina. And what makes it so special is not just its amazing color, but that it can increase stem cell production in your bone marrow. So when you're talking about longevity and not just extending the number of years that you're going to live, but extending the quality and enhancing the quality of life through those years and extending your health span, as it's being called. This is a very interesting substance in terms of being able to enhance your stem cell production and from there, your self-healing capabilities.
Yes.
So that's blue ingredient number 1. And then we got blue ingredient number 2 coming up. And that is our blue butterfly flower. And this is coming from Thailand. It's a beautiful flower that you find growing just about all over the place there. People grow it, I don't know if you know this, but to give their homes an aura of protection.
Ooh.
And it's said to be imbibed with Shiva light and carry Krishna consciousness.
Oh my
gosh. In the traditional wisdom on it. So it has an incredible mythological history and history of traditional use in Ayurveda, where it was traditionally used for a number of things, but especially as a brain tonic. And that's supported by the modern research showing that it supports acetylcholine production, which is an essential neurotransmitter that tends to decline as you age. So that's on the brain side of it, but then also from a beauty perspective, it's supporting collagen and elastin production, and it inhibits glycation. Now, glycation is the main metabolic reason why we develop wrinkles as we age, and it's connected to having a glucose-based metabolism and consuming too much sugar. But this process of glycation is actually inhibited by the blue butterfly flower, according to in vitro research. So, for an anti-aging food, from the skin perspective and from the entire body perspective, really, in terms of your genetic integrity as you age and your cells continue to replicate, it's pretty amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yay.
All right, so let's see. We have tremella, we have ashwagandha, pine pollen, and collagen. So you take your pick of what goes next.
Okay, so pine pollen, I love this product from your line.
Yeah.
And it is for testosterone, right?
Yep.
And
so
hormone.
it's a rare bioidentical natural source of testosterone.
Yep.
Which is so rare to find.
And it helps with like muscle recovery and workouts and things like that, endurance a little bit.
Yeah, it's a great, you see a lot of foods in nature which are phytoestrogens. They're plant sources of estrogen. So you have things like soy and flax and hops and beer, interestingly. That's, people who drink a lot of beer as guys tend to develop gynecomastia, which is the man boobs, because they got a lot of estrogen coming in.
Oh, God.
Interestingly. So that's a funny connection there, that beer is the man drink, maybe not so much.
Oh, my gosh.
Not an excess anyways. But then very rare to find food plant sources of testosterone, as well as DHEA is another one you have in here. So these are
Perfect.
androgenic hormones. And you might think, oh, I'm a woman, I don't need that. But actually, as you know, testosterone is very important for women. Testosterone
important.
is essential for your drive, for your confidence, for motivation, for sex drive.
Energy in general, yeah.
Exactly. So women don't need as much testosterone as men, definitely not. But you need about 1/30th of the amount. It's way less, but that amount is essential. It's no less important than healthy hormones for a guy or other hormones for a woman like progesterone.
Well, thanks to you, after getting a consultation with you after I got my blood work done, which I do every couple of years just to see how things are going, found out I had pretty low T, so you said this was a great solution versus getting on some sort of medication or something like that, and it's been helping a lot. So
glad to hear that. Yeah, and you've been getting your vitamin D3 up too, which is another very important thing that everybody should be focused on as well.
D3. If there's anything else you take from this video, take D3.
Yeah, you guys, we'll put a link in the description to our video all about D3. It's one of the least expensive supplements out there, and it has such a disproportionately tremendous benefit on so many areas of your health that it's almost a crime not to be taking it. It should be, if anything was to be enforced legally that we should have to do for our health and wellness, it should be that we have to take vitamin D3.
I agree.
And combine it with K2. You go watch that video, you'll understand why. But in the meantime, we're going to continue with our drink here because we're all getting a little bit hungry.
Yes.
And so, what do you want to do next?
So, tremella. So great for skin, vibrancy, and moisture. Is that right?
Nailed it. Absolutely. Yeah. So it contains compounds very similar to hyaluronic acid, but actually even smaller. So it gets to the skin more effectively. So this is improving moisture and elasticity of the skin, just as you said.
And it's a mushroom from, where is it?
It grows in a lot of places in the northern regions of the world. Most importantly, you want to make sure it's growing on hardwood. Because lots of people grow mushrooms on wood, lots of people grow mushrooms on grain, which is a cheaper way to do it. But then very often what you get as a result of that, if it's not very carefully done, is a lot of grain powder left over in the final product. Which is like, you're not going to pay this price just for like powdered brown rice.
No.
So you want to make sure you're really getting the quality stuff. Collagen.
Collagen.
All right, we have our grass-fed collagen here. And that is going to make this a very protein-rich drink. It's going to be very filling, very satisfying. It's going to have gut-healing amino acids in there, as well as beauty amino acids coming from those collagen peptides.
Perfect. And my favorite, ashwagandha from Addictive Wellness, which has changed my life, balanced my hormones, and as we all have been going through some stress, and I felt like my hair it was like getting like very straw-like and kind of losing its vibrancy, and ever since I've been taking the ashwagandha, I feel like it's getting fuller, and it's just a lot more moisture and healthy.
Oh, that's great. It makes me so happy to hear things like this. And this ashwagandha, compared to most ashwagandha products, has a very mild flavor, so it's quite easy to incorporate in a variety of ways. And it's very potent. So you, compared to what we put in of some of these other herbs here, you need just a very small amount. Yeah, exactly. Just a teeny bit. Okay, so last thing here, Logan likes things very sweet. So we are going to do this in a sugar-free way, and I'm going to let you put in just the amount of stevia that you like.
Should I do 2 or 3?
Yeah, I would go with a third one. I want to make sure this is everything we've ever dreamed of. All right. So we are getting ready to blend here. I got to find the top of the blender, because if this explodes out the top and gets on the ceiling, it's not going to be doing any longevity work for any of us, right? Here we go. Thank you very much. Magical. Let's get to blending. that sure turned out amazing, even more vibrant than I expected.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. People who want to find you can go to loganhollowell.com or Instagram at Logan Hollowell and check out some of your beautiful creations. And just soak in the I don't know how to describe it quite, but the consciousness and the vibes that you put out, even beyond just your products, just makes people's day better who come across what you do. So it's really wonderful.
Oh my God.
So everyone be sure to check Logan out. And thank you again for joining us today. We hope we'll see you again real soon. Cheers.
Cheers.
Enjoy. Oh yeah.
Insane.
Wow.
Delicious.
Oh, so nice. I can't wait to have it with this little bit of fresh mint here. That's going to be so good. All right. Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.